week's TAJS, as always, I am your host, the Adventurous Joe. And this week, we have our comic book review of Transformers-Regeneration 1, Volume 4, the final chapter of the Marvel Comics saga. And newsflash has some big news in store for you. We've got our new anime review of Elfen Lied, and we've also got TARABABCOCK back in action. Well, finally. And our new Cosplayer of the Week segment. So, let's get things started with our TAJS comic book review. Coming up next. Alright people, it's time now for the TAJS comic book review. Brought to you by Zoomin.TV Games, the Adventurous Joe Show, and that's about it at the moment. Oh, and IDW Publishing. Sorry. Either way, this little gem of a beauty is the final chapter in the Transformers reboot of the Marvel Comics storyline that took place back when Marvel still had the licensing. Now, IDW got a hold of it, Simon Furman made this happen, and made this really excellent, but kind of strange on the ending. Transformers-Regeneration 1 continues the final chapter in the Marvel Comics saga of the storyline. The Earth is a decimated place thanks to Megatron, as everyone knows, and Optimus Prime is staying there with some Autobots to help the humans rebuild and get back on their feet and everything, and at the same time, all hell's breaking loose on Cybertron. I mean, all hell's breaking loose. Galvatron has returned. Starscream and Shockwave have arrived with some ship, the Ark, and it's just like unbelievable. And Hot Rod has turned into Rodimus Prime. What the fuck? Everything is a jumbled up mess, but there's characters in here that start to appear from the Transformers Generation 2 series. Now take a look at the artwork. Check that out. See, there's the Dinobots. Isn't that neat? Now, there's a big spoiler alert here in the ending part. Hang on a second. Optimus Prime dies again. Optimus Prime dies again. And he remains Rodimus Prime. However, here's the spoiler alert I was telling you about. As Rodimus is laying there dying, something's coming forth. And it says, but it never ends. It's unbelievable how this storyline has practically taken over IDW for months, since it started a year ago. And it was unbelievable how it all came to an end. Now, the cover price on this beauty is $19.99. However, when I got mine from Amazon, $15 on pre-order. Loved it. And that's if you got Amazon Prime, you get free shipping with it. It's a great book, great read, great artwork. Simon Furman did a fantastic job finishing off the Marvel storyline. After Marvel lost the licensing and everything, the whole remaining storylines that he had planned and everything were up in limbo. Until IDW told him, go ahead and redo this. We're going to do this. Finish it off. Okay. He did, and 100 issues later, from issue 80 point something it was, to issue 100, finished off the Marvel storyline for Transformers Regeneration 1. Well, either way, this one is getting the TAJS badass seal of approval, and highly recommended. If you have not read the rest of them, I recommend picking up the first 3 volumes, check out the whole storyline in its entirety, and it's unbelievable. And I mean, with Transformers Age of Extinction coming out, and the Dinobots, come on people. June 27th in theaters everywhere, Age of Extinction is coming out. And it's going to be epically cool from what I've seen. Kind of disastrous at the same time, but epically cool. Man, I love how the Dinobots in the newest trailer were just running up the frickin' road. Loving it. Right behind the Autobots that were driving and stuff. Just loving it. Either way, Transformers-Regeneration 1's final verdict, we're giving it a 10 out of 10 and the TAJS Badass seal of approval. Highly recommended. You pick up all the other 3 volumes and make it a complete so you can read the entire storyline in its entirety. Okay, now let's move on to Newsflash, coming up next. Alright people, it's time now for this week's Newsflash, brought to you by the Adventurous Joe Show and Zoomin.tv Games. That's actually about the right thing for it. I can't help myself, I'm playing with it. Either way, this week's Newsflash is going to tell you all about upcoming games and so on and so forth, and some bigger news in store as well, because next week, everyone knows this, including me, because I'm being left behind. It's E3 week. Everybody's going to be there. Tim, Robert, Tara, Angry Joe, they're going to be at the E3 while I get stuck at home. This is so bullshit. Either way, E3, the big electronic gaming expo taking place in Los Angeles, California every year. Unbelievable. Woo! There's going to be booth babes. There's going to be games to try out on the shelf floor. There's going to be interviews up the yin yang. So next week on the Adventurous Joe Show, it's E3 week, people. So get ready for it. Okay, now on to this week's News Flash. Enjoy!
Welcome to the Zoom In TV News Flash. It's Monday, June 2nd, and we bring you a sequel for Red Dead Redemption, GameCube controllers for new Smash Bros, and Telltale hits coming to PS4 and Xbox One. But we start today's news update with Call of Duty.
And that's where I come in.
We haven't even played Call of Duty Advanced Warfare, yet development studio Sledgehammer has already revealed that they have a sequel in mind. Speaking to Game Informer, studio boss Michael Condrey said the developers are making the game in such a way that there's a possibility for a sequel. That being said, Activision holds a 3-year development cycle for Call of Duty games, so Advanced Warfare 2 is already in development. Sledgehammer's Call of Duty Advanced Warfare will be out on November 4th.
My name's John Marston.
The Red Dead series is anything but dead. According to Take-Two CEO Strauss Zelnick, the series is a permanent franchise. This suggests Rockstar Games might be working on a sequel already. Zelnick told this information at a meeting with analysts. He puts Red Dead in the same league as Grand Theft Auto, Borderlands, and the NBA 2K series. Don't expect any news about a new Red Dead at E3 though. Traditionally, Rockstar Games doesn't reveal new games at the Californian Expo.
Hello, old friend. Been a long time.
Electronics company Samsung is joining forces with Oculus to develop VR headsets. Those are claims made by sources from tech website Engadget. The two companies will both make their own devices, but they will share experiences and information. Samsung is developing the OLED screens for the headset, and Oculus is developing the software that Samsung needs. According to the sources, the device from Samsung should hit the market first and will be a more casual entertainment device. The Oculus is specifically made with gaming in mind.
We're bringing together the best developers in the world, the best talent in the world, across multiple disciplines, to build something that everyone thought couldn't exist.
When Super Smash Bros. Wii U hits the market, there's no reason to play with a Wii U gamepad or a Wii remote. A real pro plays Smash Bros. With a GameCube controller. Last week, Nintendo confirmed it will release an adapter that will allow 4 GameCube controllers to be connected to the Wii U. Now, they also announced full GameCube controller support for the Wii U Brawler, which is good news for everybody who takes Super Smash seriously, which is everybody.
Let's tone up those legs. Now, let's try it together. Try to keep it back.
You got a problem with my crew? You got a problem with me.
A leaked storyboard video suggests Ubisoft is working on a game with the working title Hero. The two videos suggest the idea that Hero is an online action game in which players craft their own warrior and their own style. Let's keep an eye on E3 next week. You will get all your E3 info here on Zoom In TV Games.
I've got a home to defend. That does make me a hero.
Ooh. Yeah. Oh, it's raining. It's raining, dude. It's raining.
This is like Portal, man. Look at that.
If you ever watch our live show Big Red Laser, you will have seen Robert and Tim play Towerfall Ascension. The arena brawler has only been released for Windows PC and the PlayStation 4. Well, the wait is over because Towerfall Ascension is now also available for Mac and Linux. If you're into competitive party games, Towerfall is a must to buy.
Oh! That was so stupid.
Telltale Games is bringing its The Walking Dead series and The Wolf Among Us to PlayStation 4 and Xbox One. The 2 seasons of The Walking Dead will be sold on separate discs. Furthermore, The Walking Dead Season 2 and The Wolf Among Us will be released as retail discs for Xbox 360 and PS3 as well. Microsoft will publish Rise of Nations Extended Edition this month. The gaming company acquired the rights to the series in the 38 Studios auction in December. The Extended Edition has been pimped graphically, but above all adds stuff like Steamworks support, achievements, Twitch integration, online multiplayer, and cloud saves.
This is your scout. Use him to discover rare resources or locate the enemy position.
That's it for the news today. Next Thursday we will do a mini update again, as we are preparing for the E3 in Los Angeles. Next week, Tim, Tara, and Robert will be on the show floor to do exclusive interviews with all the developers. So tune in next week on Zoom In TV Games.
There you have it, people. This week's news flash. So, you want more news flash? Well, there won't be any this week. They're not going to have any until they report from E3. Anyways, you want to know more? You want to see more? You want to know more about everything else Zoomin does? Follow the link down below to zoomin.tv Games official YouTube page. And let them know the Adventurous Joe Show sent you. That's right, people. Okay, now it's time for our this week's anime review. Coming up next. Brought to you by Zoomin.tv Games and the Adventurous Joe Show. We're lovely at this. This week's anime review is about, Lucy? This pink-haired beauty with, cat ears, strange like cat ears, has psychic powers and, telekinesis kind of shit that, well, could kill you. And we're talking about Elfen Lied. Practically, it should have been just called Lucy's Story, because it's all about Lucy and how she went from being a little kid that was tormented and turning into this shit to being able to fucking kill people just with a thought, or freaking using these invisible like hands that reach out and fucking just pop your head right off you, or rip arms and legs off you and shit. Cut you in half, whoosh, like that kind of shit. Yeah, it was that kind of gruesome. It's also got the fan service, people. So, yes, there's nudity in it and stuff like that. There's the bad stuff of talking about how the one little girl, that ends up with, Lucy and the others, about how her stepfather was molesting her and shit like that. And, how her mother threw her out on the street because she was and called her a liar and all that shit and so on and so forth. It was stupid shit. Either way, the storyline's great. Anime off the charts on the gruesome. I meant off the charts off the gruesome, because you see guys getting torn in half and shit, and it's just unbelievable. Now the whole story focuses around Lucy, basically, who's this pink-haired girl who was, at the beginning of the story, she was trapped in some kind of laboratory kind of shit and broke out. Well, after she broke out and shit, she lost her memory. She had no memory of who she was. and ended up living with this boy who, it turns out the boy was actually her first love and everything from when they were kids. The guy was all grown up now and shit, and she was trying to live a normal life with him and everything. But at the same time, she had no idea who she was, what the hell she could do and everything. It was like Lucy had a split personality to her. Elfen Lied, either way, awesome as hell. It was a great anime. We're highly recommending it. However, they could have left that stupid rape shit out of it. I'm sick and tired of rape shit. I am so sick and tired of it. You want that kind of shit? Put it in that hentai crap. That's where you should leave the hentai. Now, the fan service shit focuses mostly on the nudity. Between nudity and the frickin' panties, bra and panties kind of shit, so on and so forth like that. Either way, it's your fan service right there. But this one, Elfen Lied, our final verdict on it, we're gonna give it an 8 out of 10. Mostly having to do with that fucking child molester story. I hated that part so much about how this girl got thrown out on the street by her own mother because she didn't believe that the stepfather was fucking raping her daughter. Unbelievable. It's like the real world, people. There are this kind of shit taking place all the fucking time. Anyways, back on focus. We're on Anime Review, not Jerry Springer or some other frickin' talk show kind of shit. Either way, we're gonna give it the TAJS Badass Seal of Approval, but we're going with an 8 out of 10 on it. Mostly having to focus on that child molester story part. Never liked it. Should have left it out of the storyline completely. And just did something different. Like she ran away from home because her mom beat on her or something like that. You know, but the child molester story shit, I hated that part. Just leave it out completely. I would have done that altogether. Either way, Elfen Lied is a great story, great anime. I highly recommend you pick it up. It's available through Amazon.com, I believe for $25 or $23, I'm not sure. Either way, the DVD set is beautiful. I highly recommend you pick it up, watch it, enjoy it. It was great. And I loved how the whole thing came to an end at the same time. It was kind of mystery kind of ending. Because Lucy disappeared. And it was like almost a month or two before, since they last seen her and everything else and shit. And then all of a sudden, just as the show's about to come to an end and shit, there's this, the doorbell thingy got rang. Because in Japan they got these weird doorbell things, okay? Either way, it was supposed to be her appearing again before them. And I'm like, okay, that's how they left it. Just a silhouette standing outside the doorway and you have no idea if it's her or not. Unbelievable. Either way, final verdict on this one. TAJS Anime Review is giving Elfen Lied 8 out of 10. Okay. Now, it's time for our lovely hostess, back in action, of course, before she hits the E3 show floor. Lucky. It's time now for the Tara Show, coming up next. Alright, people, it's time now for this week's Tara Show, brought to you by Zoomin.TV Games and the Adventurous Joe Show. Either way, our lovely hostess, Miss TARABABCOCK, is back in action. And also, have you guys been checking out her sex ed videos on her vlog channel? If you haven't, follow the link down below. They're down there. It's just follow the link down below to her official vlog page, and you can check out her sex ed videos. Pretty cool. I mean, they're very informative too for a woman that is very proud of her sexuality and everything. And she's very good at this. I told you all the time, she could be a damn good teacher. Either way, it's time now for this week's Tara Show. So enjoy.
Hello everyone and welcome to a new episode of The Tara Show. In this show, I show my opinions on a certain subject. As always, we're going to look back at last week's discussion, pick a few comments that you guys posted, and then we're going to jump into a new discussion. Last time there was a Terra show, I know, I've been kind of busy. We talked about my expectations for the next Unreal tournament. You guys were pretty fanatic about this and posted a bunch of interesting comments. Let me share some of them with you. My buddy Threx Gaming said, "The further away they keep this from military-style FPS games, the better. Keep perks, kill streaks, and all that other stuff far, far away." AliRx thinks that, since Unreal Tournament 4 is free, maybe it will have a donation option if people want to support them. And Idiotic Smiley thinks, "I don't think there should be a huge emphasis on DM and TDM. CTF on Unreal Tournament was insanely fun." He also started a pretty good discussion with other people in the comments.
Today we're introducing a new Xbox One without Kinect for $399.
It might be a bit of old news by now, but Microsoft has announced last week that they're going to release an Xbox One without the need for Kinect. This means that the Xbox One is going to be $100 cheaper, and it might give developers a little bit more access to more computer power. But we'll believe it when we see it, right? The funny thing is, however, the Xbox One without the Kinect is completely different than the Xbox One that was announced May of last year. Let's compare the two, shall we? When the Xbox One was revealed, it had always online DRM, account-bound games, Kinect required, no self-publishing for indies, and paid Xbox Live for games and services. The Xbox One that was announced last week has disc-based DRM, no account-bound games, no Kinect, indies can self-publish games, and Xbox Live will only be needed to play games and not for services. Wow, it's so crazy to see these consoles right next to each other. It's almost like I'm talking about two different systems altogether. It's funny how they announce something with a certain list of rules and then they completely change it. A while ago, everyone was bugging Nintendo to get rid of the Wii U gamepad in favor of a traditional controller. It's very brave if a company decides to completely overhaul their project, and with Wii U, it would have been justified since it's not really selling very well. With Microsoft, however, these changes still do feel a bit weird. I mean, some of them came before the system was even out, and now they've removed the Kinect to get on par with Sony, which seems more like a thought-out decision rather than just a panic move. Are you guys planning on buying an Xbox One now that you can get it without Kinect? What do you guys think about Microsoft's philosophy on the Xbox One? Let me know down in the comments, and maybe I will choose your comment to talk about in next week's show. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and make sure you check out in the description where my personal channel is going to be. Bye guys, see you next week.
We'll continue to innovate on Kinect. I think it's an important differentiator for us, but I also know there are people out there that want to make the choice when they want to make it.
There you have it, people. This week's Terra Show. And probably the only week for this week's Terra Show, because you're going next week. She'll be at E3 with Tim and Robert from the Zoomin.TV games on this show floor, giving you all the good interviews, all the big news about the stuff. But she didn't act like in her recent vlog she was too excited about going. Huh? Either way, Tara always has a good time when she's there. Trust me, you should have seen when she was drunk. Either way, it was funny as hell though. Either way, let's hope Sony does not have open bar again this year. I don't want to see the results of this one. I'm just glad I'm not going to be there. Bullshit, I should be there! Either way, it's time now for our last part of the show, the TAJS Cosplayer of the Week. Coming up next. Okay, people, it's time now for the last part of the Adventurous Joe Show, our Cosplayer of the Week segment, brought to you by the Adventurous Joe Show and Zoomin.TV Games. The awesome of awesome. Either way, people. This lovely young lady has been well known for her cosplays between Rogue and Kitty Pryde. She's also a great mom, and she's done a lot more with Bat in the Sun than you can count on one hand. She's pretty associated with those people. Probably every cosplayer is, but who knows? She's also friends with one of our past cosplayers of the week, Lone Star Mash, and we're proud to induct her into the TAJS Cosplayers Hall of Fame class of 2014, the lovely and very talented Miss Jessica L.G. Check out her pics, and we'll see you all for the ending credits of the show. Enjoy!
You will remember this moment.
there you have it, people. Our newest inductee into the Cosplayers Hall of Fame for the Adventurous Joe Show, the lovely Jessica L.G. Bravo to you, young lady. Bravo. Okay. That wraps it up for this week's Adventurous Joe Show. Next week is E3 week, people. We're still going to have our probably a new comic book review and an anime review and the Cosplayer of the Week segment. But, however, the Tara Show and Newsflash, I don't know if we're going to have those because I think it's just going to be news from Tara and the guys and Angry Joe on the show floor at E3. They're going to be attending the Microsoft, Nintendo, and Sony press conferences. They're going to be checking out the games on the show floor. Tara's probably going to be checking out the booth babes, like Tim and, what's his name is always done. And, that's about it, guys and gals. You're going to be at E3. Say hi to them. Let them know the Adventurous Joe Show says, hey, welcome to E3 and congrats. It's awesome. It's awesome to have them there, and I get stuck at home. Wonderful, ain't it? I hate my life so fucking much. Either way, that's it for this week's TAJS. As always, I am the Adventurous Joe, Joseph Michaels, and along with our lovely hostess, Miss Tara Babcock, the guys and gals at Zoomin.TV Games, and the awesome as hell and angry as ever, Angry Joe. We'll see you all next time. Until then, peace out. May the force be with you. And may the power protect you. We'll see ya.